this is just a ridiculous question. So honestly, uh, I decided to take a different approach than I normally approach in these debates. The burden of proof is on him, and we have not heard any substantial evidence to support this claim. So I broke in this debate down pretty much in five simple propositions. All right. So the first proposition is we need direct evidence, right? We need historical evidence of influence. We don't need corollaries. We need direct evidence. We need direct evidence. All right. We have not heard that. We heard a bunch of words. Niggas is reading and trying to construct the fucking Grok argument. I don't know why, but we didn't hear this person told this person that told this person. We didn't hear no historical evidence. The next thing, proposition number 2, the purpose and function of the Osiris myth must necessarily match Jesus, and that's just literally not true. And I can go through. I got the pyramid text right here because I knew this would happen. I predicted this. And so right here, what we can learn about the pyramid text is quite simple. It says here that that this was a myth that was for a king to be able to resurrect, whereas Jesus is a historical figure. All right, so it talks about a God who was murdered and reborn. Okay, give you that, right? But this person had this God, quote unquote, had a brother who murdered him. He had a son named Horus, and he also had a sister wife. None of these things that Jesus had. None of these things that Jesus had. Jesus did not have these things. All right, and so we even when we get to the resurrection stuff, the state of death. All right, we had the fall of Osiris was basically due to a murder, right? Where Osiris was cast down to earth, to a place called Nedet, and he was laid on his side, and his body was cut up and spread out through the lands, and then the sister wives, if I'm understanding the pyramid text correctly, had to go search for him all and collect him and put him back together. What the hell? What the fuck does that got to do with Jesus? That don't have anything to do with Jesus, dog. Not nothing. I don't understand what we're doing here. And so that's proposition number 2, the purpose and function, right? When we say that Jesus is Jesus is the way to Jesus is the way to salvation. Jesus is the way to have everlasting life. So he's not no God or no dead or nothing like that. So the myths don't even serve the same function. And then you got proposition 3, right? Yeshua is a historical figure. We're talking about a fucking myth. We're talking about a historical figure versus a myth. You can read Tacitus, Flavius Josephus. They all like it's I think it's over 42 different external sources, meaning sources outside of the Bible, that confirm that Jesus was crucified under Pontius Pilate. Now, if you want to debate the resurrection, that's fine. But the fact of the matter is, we have eyewitness testimony that said that the tomb was empty. That's all we have. That's all we have to go off of. And so, at the end of the day, a myth of a story told written on a tomb is and who Jesus actually is, bro. Those are two different things. The last thing, the fourth thing, cause I got 5 propositions. The fourth thing, we're talking about a monotheistic culture. That is what Christianity is, historically has been. A monotheistic culture. You're talking about a god of the underworld. What the fuck does that have to do with Jesus? Jesus called himself Yahweh. Yahweh means he that is. That means God of all things. So I don't know why the fuck y'all be trying to take a polytheistic pantheon and say that Jesus is plagiarized from that, because it's not. And my last thing is Menace to Society and Boys to Men, Menace to Society and Boys in the Hood must absolutely be the same damn movie, right? Because they have drive-bys. In Menace to Society and Boys to Men, it was drive-bys and niggas got shot. Therefore, they must have stolen the movie from each other. This is goofy, dog. Like, this is just, I don't even understand where y'all kind of construct these type of arguments from. But at the end of the day, bro, what we know for a fact is that Jesus is a historical figure. He's historically reliable. He's from a monotheistic culture that the Jews wouldn't have even had access to. That's another point. You have not given the burden of proof is on you, and you have not given direct historical influence or evidence to prove your claim. And then the purpose and function of the Osirian myth and the purpose and function of Jesus is two worlds apart. At the end of the day, Jesus died and resurrected and went back to the Father. He didn't go to no nether, no ether, no none of that. And just because you see a corollary does not equal a plagiarism, a causation, or a stealing of a motif. A motif, for those who don't know, is a principle. This principle does not fit. It does not apply. It's not. We not motivated by this stuff. And so yeah. So I'll yield my time.